No matter the location, from O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
This Raiders mailbag presented by Manscape. Hopefully, Raider for Life 576923 is going to manscaped.com/Raiders, where you can save 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products. Should the Raiders trade or cut Trent Brown? All right, I guess I'll first start off with the cut aspect of this. You're not going to cut Trent Brown this year because it's going to cost you his entire contract, $21.25 million. But you could potentially move on from him next year if he doesn't play well, save you about $14 million. The reason why that this question is probably being brought up is because of all the news and drama around Brown. Here in the photo here, you can see that he is the only player not locking arms with his teammates during the national anthem before the game against Carolina. He's also standing behind everyone. Now, that's before the game. What about after the game here? After the big-time team win, everyone, they got their hands up, and who's the dude in the background? Looks like he's whining. It's Trent Brown. I understand he was probably upset, maybe frustrated that he wasn't able to play. But at the same time, I actually don't know if he's upset if he's not able to play. Because no matter what, he's getting paid. But if Trent Brown wants to remain a Raider, he better start getting on the field because John Gruden said it himself. He's starting to get really frustrated. Let's go to the next question here from Michael Miller. Are you worried about our pass rush? It was non-existent against the Panthers. So when I went back and watched the film, and I also went on PFF a little bit, right now the lowest rated pass rusher was actually Max Crosby. The player that they thought played the best was Cleveland Ferrell and Arden Key. Yes, Carl Nassib had half a sack. Mo Hurst also had half a sack. I will tip my cap, though, to the Carolina Panthers. They got the ball out ridiculously quick and really tried to tire out that defensive line. But am I worried? On a scale of 1 to 10, I am a little bit. I'm going to put it at about a 5. Chili Man 213. Mitch, we need to sign Earl Thomas. We all know Harris struggles in pass coverage. Thomas/Abram would be the best duo in the league. Raider Nation, one love, Mitch. I'm not going to say it would be the best duo in the league because I haven't seen it. There's a lot of other really talented defenses. But in terms of a talent standpoint alone, yes, Earl Thomas would fit perfectly as a free safety with Jonathan Abram. The issue with that is, though, you can't bring in a locker room cancer, if you will, somebody who's no doubt talented, but the bottom line is that's not maybe the player. If you'd ask me what free agent do I want, the name I might throw out there is a guy like Eric Reid. Matthew Fothery, do you think we see more jet sweeps from Ruggs? So he was used very, very heavily in week 1, and I like that a lot, to be honest with you, because 3 catches, 55 yards, had some end arounds. The Raiders really tried to get him involved in the first and second quarter, and then unfortunately, he did get banged up. But I was really interested to see how they used him almost in a Tyreek Hill type of role. More jet sweeps, sure, but if we were going to use more jet sweeps, I'd be more encouraged with like getting a guy with some speed on the field, maybe like a Rico Gafford, maybe more guys like Henry Ruggs, because that's really when the sweeps work. Elizabeth Z, appreciate the super chat. Remember, when you super chat, we'll put it on the show. Are there any good available free agent linebackers we can acquire? Elizabeth, yes, and actually, since you are watching this live, I am going to be breaking down some potential replacements for Nick Kwiatkoski, but to throw out at least one name that I know the Raiders have showed interest before during the offseason, Mychal Kendricks. Daniel Rodriguez, what's up, my dude? With the Browns looking to trade Odell and Robinson, he means Allen Robinson of the Bears seeking a trade. Should the Raiders go after one of them? Great question. So I guess if you were to ask me who would I rather have, Odell Beckham Jr. or Allen Robinson, I would actually probably go Allen Robinson because he is one of the most underappreciated players, especially at the wide receiver position. But he also is a blocker. He is a physical receiver who has dealt with quarterbacks like Blake Bortles, like Mitchell Trubisky, and the fact that right now he potentially wants out, you could get him a lot cheaper than you could get a receiver like Odell Beckham Jr. So I love the earlier question. So you know what? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. I want you to name a player that the Raiders should go out and trade for. So throw it in the comments section. Let's think of some trade ideas. You can put your trade ideas up on screen using hashtag Raiders. But a lot of people right now are saying OBJ and Allen Robinson. Continue to get those questions and comments flown in. Matthew Leone, should we trade For Moreau to the Cowboys for a second? If the Cowboys were willing to give up a second-round pick for For Moreau, I would say yes. Unfortunately, I don't see that one happening for the simple reason of if they were going to trade for a tight end, there's a part of me that thinks that they would trade for that guy called Jason Witten because he would actually be a lot cheaper than For Moreau. So I also think the reason why you're asking this, Blake Jarwin, the Cowboys starting tight end, he tore his ACL. He is out for the season. But Moreau would be interesting, but for a second-round pick, yes. But Jason Witten, I think, would be the more likely option. Kenny, what's up, my dude? Mitch, are you serious? Get his out of here. Can we trade him? Hopefully get a first, second-round pick if the dude stays hurt. I believe that you're talking about Trent Brown. If the Raiders could get a first-round pick for Trent Brown, yes, I would actually do it in a heartbeat. For the second-round pick, I don't know if I would do it because the Raiders are a better football team with him at least, on the field. And I do want to give a shout-out to Karsten Bodarek. I believe that's $2.29. So, V. Gates, much appreciated. So make sure you guys, and I want to give a shout-out to JR for the other Super Chat. Sorry, I was looking for it. It's all good. Continue to use hashtag Raiders, or you can Super Chat to get your questions on the show. Too Godly says who? Should we get out and sign Clay Matthews? The reason why I'm going to say no to this one is because Clay Matthews is more of a 3-4 type of linebacker, more of an edge rusher at 34 years old. Like, you're not going to put him in the same, you're not going to use him the way that you would use a Nick Kwiatkoski. You need to be able to put your, hair back, if you will, for Clay and get after the quarterback. I think it's actually one of the reasons why Carl Nassib hasn't been a good fit in our defense because he was built more for a 3-4 scheme, not so much the 4-3 that the Raiders are trying to run. I get that Clay's had 8 sacks last year, but honestly, no, that's not the linebacker I would go out and get. Juicehead89, sign Ha Clinton Dix. All right. Should the Raiders go out and get Ha Clinton Dix? So he was released by the Dallas Cowboys, and obviously I live here in Dallas. I listen to Tom talk all the time. He was bad in camp. He did not play well, did not fit that team whatsoever. And another team that has a lot of question marks in the secondary, it was the Cowboys. So the fact that he couldn't make that team does make me a little bit worried. But if you were to ask me who do I think would be a better player on the field, Clinton Dix or Erik Harris, I would go Clinton Dix. The issue is Erik Harris is a captain, and I do know a lot of the Raiders players want him on the team. Speaking of Erik Harris, King Higgins, I love it. Should the Raiders trade Harris? If so, what is the value? I don't think the Raiders will trade Erik Harris because the value isn't there. I mean, there's not many teams that are going to look for a one-dimensional free safety, basically, who can't really come up, who's an average tackler. I mean, that's what he is. He is an average tackler, a below-average safety. If you could get a 5th-round pick for Erik Harris, that would actually probably surprise me. Plus, you're paying him $3 million. There's not going to be many teams that are going to want to take on that contract of over $3 million. So will the Raiders trade him? Unlikely, but if you get a 5th-round pick for it, that's probably what his value is. Lots and lots of trade questions. I like it. We got 1,250 people watching right now. Much love, y'all. So get your votes in here. Will the Raiders make another trade? Y for yes or N for no? Right before week 1, they were getting active. So about a week before that, they went out and traded for linebacker Raekwon McMillan, which looks like it's going to be a pretty good move, even though he only played at 9% of snaps this past week. And the Raiders basically set the whole Chat Sports studio on fire when they announced that they traded Lynn Bowden Jr. I was like, oh my God, drop what you're doing. We're making a video. Will they make another trade? Y for yes, or I want you to type your N for no. NG Vlogs. Why didn't Amik Robertson see the field that much? That's actually something that I was wondering, and the reason why was because if what you were doing wasn't working, why not put somebody else out there? Now, out of the players on the field, I mean, LaMarcus Joyner, he outplayed Damon Arnett. He outplayed Trayvon Mullen. Do they play different positions? Yes, but realistically, Amik got a little bit of run, and I think if Amik would have came in, they wouldn't have wanted to put it. They would have tried to put him probably on a DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel, not a Robbie Anderson. But I agree with you. I thought that Amik Robertson should have got some more snaps. Marcus, what's up? Do you think that we can make the playoffs? Of course. It's the NFL. Anything can happen, right? I mean, the Jags won. The Washington football team won. Now, do I think that those two teams are going to make the playoffs? No. but you can win any single week possible. And if this Raiders team plays well, gets hot at the right time, yes, they also can end up making the playoffs. Lawnmower 3.0 is available at manscape.com/Raiders. If y'all were wondering why I was a little bit late to the live show, I had to clean up down there. I had to be looking fresh for y'all. 20% off and free shipping. And when you go to manscape.com/Raiders, the Lawnmower 3.0 is by far my favorite product from Manscaped. You got that little light at the end of at your razor there so you can get into those hard to reach places. 100% rechargeable. The battery life lasts about 8 hours. No tug whatsoever. You can also take it into the shower. So if you want to come out looking fresh and clean, maybe surprise your girlfriend, whatever, not like I've ever done it, you can do that. Take it in the shower. Go to manscape.com/Raiders. 20% off plus free shipping. The link is available in the comments and in the description. Darius Gonzalez, you look like a guy that uses Manscaped. Who should the Raiders target on defense next year via free agency? Already free agency questions next year. I would say anybody that's a top cornerback, I would stay away from running backs because there's going to be a lot of big-name running backs. We don't need a running back. We got Josh, who's probably right now one of the best running backs, if not the best back in the league from what I saw week one. You need some edge rushers. You got to go out and get somebody that can get after the quarterback. Maybe a defensive tackle. Luckily, we don't have to talk about Jalen Ramsey anymore because that one's not going to happen. The other player that a lot of people are going to talk about, it might not be a free agency pickup, but I know I'm going to get a lot of questions around Aaron Rodgers because even though he played great, the Packers might not keep him. Angelos Albright, what are your thoughts on Allegiant Stadium? I think it's the best stadium in the entire league. It's brand new. It looks incredible. They call it the Death Star for a reason. When I saw it in person, I was like, wow, I can't wait for the NFL. I can't wait for the Raiders to be able to show it off on Monday Night Football. And I'm with you. And if you agree with me, like the video right now, the Raiders have the best stadium in the league. And I've been told we have the best Raiders show on YouTube. To make sure that you don't miss out on all of our live shows, plus we do daily videos, make sure you click that big red button that says subscribe. And to the people that are already subbed, you can take the link that you see below on screen, youtube.com/Raiders Report, and send it to all your Raider friends. I would definitely appreciate that. Live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Please go ahead, click that big red button that says subscribe, and join us because that's how you're going to be able to get your questions featured here on the Las Vegas Raiders Report. Leo Rivas, what happened to our safety Randall? Oh, they got rid of him. I'm with you. I'm not really sure why the Raiders decided to move on from Demarius Randall. They said it wasn't a good fit. Apparently, he only practiced one time. But from what I saw in week one, the Raiders are missing him. So you guys can continue to use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat here. We'll probably answer one more question and then go to the next segment. Kevin C., will Abram be a Pro Bowler this year? If he keeps playing the way that he's been, yeah, absolutely. 13 tackles, was flying all over the football field. Does he need to be able to improve a little bit in the passing game? Absolutely. But you're seeing a very young and hungry player. Him and Corey Littleton, by far the best two defensive players on the Raiders. And I believe both of them will be Pro Bowlers for this Las Vegas Raiders team. Before I sign off here on this mailbag, we'll get into another segment. I do want to give some shout-outs to some of the people that followed me on IG. If you want a shout-out on the next show, all you got to do, go ahead, give me a follow at Mychal Renz 365. So JC Lover, Mendoza Ben 0423, Big Brooks KS 800, and then Knoxville 22. Much love. And to everyone watching right now, go give me a follow on IG. If you have any other questions, I'm at Mychal Renz 365. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this. I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.